G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, today we're starting a series, and I don't know whether it's going to take weeks or months, and it's going to be on the Standard Motor Company 23C diesel engine that was used in the FE35 tractors. I have a friend, Chris, and he found this engine and the skeleton of a 35 at the local scrappy. And so he grabbed the whole assembly, got what he wanted out of it. Then he told me, "Would you like the engine?" And you know what he's finished with. And I said, "Yeah, look, we have 3 tractors up there to do up, so we may find it handy." So what we're going to do with this on this video series, this engine is never going to be put together again. We don't know what was wrong with it. We don't know why the people wrecked the tractor and sent it to the scrap metal people. But we're going to pull this engine apart, and there's a few things that we can't buy that we're going to have a look at making ourselves. One of those things would be cam bearings. You can't buy cam bearings for these. I have a friend, Rob, who's just had the local engineering shop in Bundaberg here do one of these engines up, and I rang them up and I said, "Hey, did you do Rob's engine up?" And they said, "Yep." I said, "What did you do for cam bearings?" They said, "Oh, you can't buy them." They looked everywhere, and they said they had to make them. So we got a bit of Phos Bronze PB1 sitting up at the little machine shop we have at home here, and we're going to make the cam bearings for this once we know what the size is, and we have to work out tools to fit them and all that sort of thing. The oil pump down the bottom, you can buy the new rotor assembly and the new shaft and all that, the new innards for the oil pump, but the bushes that support the oil pump shaft you can't buy anymore. So we're going to get some sizes worked out for that and get a little drawing done and make our own. And I believe the idler shaft on the injection pump drive train, that's a problem area with these engines. They get worn bushes in the gear that slops around, and we're just going to have a good look, measure things up and work out what we can make. We can't make everything, I'm not that clever, but we're going to have a go and see. I've got a lathe and a little milling machine at my disposal up in my machine shop, so we'll just pop it apart and film it along the way just for interest. Now, for those who follow the channel, I'll probably know that I own a business in town called Queensland Tractor Spares, and we sell tractor parts. Yeah, we buy and sell tractor parts. That's our business, and it's a good business. But I have a website called www.queenslandtractorspares.com.au, and over the time in that website there's a link to Bundy Bear's Shed, the YouTube channel. Whee! And then there's also a technical tab that I've put there, and on that technical tab there's bits of information that I've thought people may find handy. So on the technical tab there's things like how to age your tractor, your 35, how to age your TE20. But the reason I'm telling you now about that is in the technical tab I've put a Massey Ferguson technical manual there, and it's the Massey Ferguson 35 workshop manual. I've put a PDF copy of that on the queenslandtractorspares.com.au website, and for those who want to follow along or want to read notes or anything like that, jump on there, download that. Now the 23C engine starts at section C101, and on the PDF file it starts at page 83 on mine, where we go down the side. So you can do like I've done here. I have a tablet here, and I can just check specs or just see what I'd like to see. If I'm not sure of something, I can have a look here. I'm not an expert on this, I'm just puddling along. So any specs and things like that will be here, so you'll be able to follow along. Or the advantage of this is if you have it at home and you have a printer hooked to your computer, you can print out half a dozen pages, you can take them into the workshop, get them dirty, spill oil on them, do what you like, chuck them in the bin, go and print some more. So it's a good resource. I've put that out there for free, no charge at all. So hopefully everyone can get in and have a well, get something out of it anyway. So look, follow along. If you need to message me about anything, there's YouTube comments down the bottom of the, I think it would be down this side. Who bloody knows? There is YouTube comments. You can leave comments, and please leave likes and comments. YouTube picks us up on that, and they decide that people do like to watch tractor stuff, so it helps us all out a little bit. And if you want to email me directly, don't email Queensland Tractor Spares. I don't see that. The people at my staff look after the info at Queensland Tractor Spares, but if you look for parts to buy and things like that, that's where you go. If you just want to talk to Lance, send Lance an email and ask a question. It's bundybearsshed@gmail.com. Easy as that. You want to buy some merchandise? bundybearsshed.com. We've got a few t-shirts and stubby coolers and things like that happening in there. So anyway, it all helps, and helps us keep these parts going. Like I say, we're not going to put this engine together. We're just going to pull it apart and have a look and test things, and it's just a bit of interest. We're just going to poke along with that. The good parts, of course, we're going to keep. As I say, we have 3 more 23C engines in tractors up the end there. I have a standard FE35 that's got the single clutch and all that. The fellow I bought that off did the engine up, but we think it still has a problem with water getting into the sump. I have a 23C with it's just an old barn find we found. No starter, no nothing, but they reckon it ran when you towed it. And up the back, I also have a 23C with a cold start head on it, and it's got the glow plugs that come into the head, but it's got a crook clutch. So I got plenty of 23C stuff to do when I feel like doing it, when we get round to it. So look, follow along. We'll just poke along with this. We're not, like I say, we're not going to put it together. Hopefully you find it interesting, and if you've got any comments or questions or something, leave them in comments, or if you put them in comments, everyone sees them. But if you send an email to Bundy Bears Shed, I can have a conversation with you on something. But it gives the option of sending a little parts diagram if we can, or something like that. So anyway, follow along, see how you go. I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, we better get stuck into it, eh?